All right, guys, welcome back to Chris's book club to future-proofing you. This video is on chapter 5. Chapter 5's title is Igniting Your Superpower by Applying What Makes You Unique. The chapter always starts with the quote in the story, right? So this quote is from Professor Charles Francis Xavier from the X-Men. Mutation. It is a key to our evolution. It has enabled us to evolve from a single-cell organism into a dominant species on the planet. The process is slow and normally taking thousands of years, but every few hundred millennia, evolution leaps forward. Little story, this one uses, right? So at age 9, this person was diagnosed with ADHD. It's a hyperactivity disorder. And at 11 years old, he felt stigmatized by needing the medication and figured out he could manage his attention deficit symptoms by getting out his excess energy by swimming. His mother and the doctor agreed to take him off the meds if he continued to focus on spending time in the pool. Now, 4 years later, Michael Phelps was an Olympic athlete. He has won 28 Olympic medals, including 23 gold. Michael Phelps' superpower is ADHD. Now, chapter 5, Igniting Your Superpower by Applying What Makes You Unique, is what this chapter is all about. Finding your superpower and how, what to look for, right? So this is truth number 5. Your unique superpower makes you successful. Each one of us is unique. Amen. You have something inside you that makes you so different that it is your competitive secret weapon. Now, one word I would like for you guys to learn is competitive advantage. If you do not know what that means, it's pretty much basically, what do you have an advantage over that is so competitive? That's it, competitive advantage. However, so this is a quote by Albert Einstein that says, everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Now, I don't know how many of y'all will do something and someone just like, yo, you're so weird, or you're an idiot, or like, what's wrong with this person? If you don't get that, I get that a lot, and I'm totally fine with it. I really don't care. But the thing about that is, if you listen to a person tell you what you're capable of doing, that's when you're in the wrong. Because if somebody has to tell you what you're capable of doing and you believe them, that's when you become that fish who once thought he could climb a tree and now believing he cannot climb a tree. We say fish need to stay in water or else they die. But this fish is saying, I could get out of water, climb that tree, and make something happen. But if we keep just pointing fingers and putting this person down and discouraging this fish down and he didn't make it happen, it's the same with your life. If you're trying to make something out of yourself and you're trying to do something that you love to do, but it's just to other people, it's not normal, it's not a norm, and you listen to them, then unfortunately, you're going to believe your whole life that you are not good enough. And which is why when I'm given those, like, you're weird, how could you do that? How come you're so happy in the morning? Why are you like this? My answer is because I have the potential, the ability, the capability to change and to live the way I want to live. That's it. And if you find that secret that unlocks your giftings, you're set for life. The more you understand what makes you unique, the greater your chances of using it to create opportunities and wealth. Another example is a composer and lyricist, Lin-Manuel Miranda. That's a superpower I've been very conscious of developing, right? He says, making words rhyme for a living is one of the greatest joys of my life. That is a superpower I've been very conscious of developing. I started at the same level as everybody else, and then I just listened to more music and talked to myself until this was actually a superpower. Honing his superpower was one of the reasons the Broadway sensation Hamilton went on to win a Garner Pulitzer Prize, a Grammy, and 11 Tony Awards. This highest grossing season took in $1.45 billion in ticket sales. Another example is Dr. Mark Goldston. He is a super listener. and he has saved many lives. He has never lost a patient, and he specializes in suicidal patterns. Another person would be Bill Clinton, and his superpower is charisma. The president can win over with just a smile and a handshake. I found that with very little creativity, a lot of dedication, any difference can be turned into something amazing. Our differences are our superpower. Superpowers define us and guide us. They are the talent that strengthens everything we do in life and frames our personal brand. The sooner you can identify and grow your superpower, the further your career will go. Knowing your superpower changes everything, says this blogger and a life coach, Natalie Bardo. The challenge then is to identify your superpower and to use it as a foundation for future-proofing you. So now here are 5 probing questions designed to help you find your true superpower. Question number 1, what comes naturally to you? Now analyze what aspects of work you can't stand, and the reason might be because it goes against your natural strength. Question number 2, what do you do better than anyone you've ever met? Knowing your superpower will encourage you to train harder at it, developing it to its full potential, and identifying it will also improve how you present yourself and your market and how to market your business. Question number 3, what makes time disappear for you? When you hear yourself apologizing to someone, I'm sorry, but I lost track of time, then you should recognize that that is your superpower. Your superpower should be your vocation, not your avocation. Martha Stewart, right? Here's another example. She worked on Wall Street until she was 41, but she found herself just enjoying, making events and parties. She found a passion for throwing a perfect event. This amassed $600 million in fortune. You can tell what's important to people by looking in 2 places: their calendars and their checkbooks, writes David Dye. Now question number 4, when friends ask your advice, why are they coming to you? This may surprise you, but the people you interact with the most, your friends, family, and coworkers, already know your superpower. They seek your wisdom every time they have a problem in an area of strength. Question number 5, what would you do if money didn't matter? Too many people believe that they have to wait until they are wealthy to follow their passion, when in fact, it will be their passion that will make them wealthy. Painter Pablo Picasso said, every child is an artist. The problem is to remain an artist once you grow up. And then it goes into, this an example from the author of this book. He said that he loved watercolors and painting on them. And after this pandemic happened and all his events were canceled, he decided just to focus on his passion and just to continue to paint with his watercolors. And it actually, he created a challenge, right, to do this for 100 straight days, and it ended up turning into one of his biggest breakthroughs. And it actually helped him in receiving more revenue, another revenue stream that he wasn't even looking for. Bill Gates' superpower is problem solving, but it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like in order to go on spending things that you don't like. Doing things you don't like and to teach our children to follow the same tracks, that's kind of ridiculous. Having the determination and resilience to become future-proof is much easier when you believe in your superpower. And then at the same time, you also need to identify what is your kryptonite. Often what we struggle with becomes the foundation of our greatest success. James Woosley writes in Conquer the Entrepreneur's Kryptonite, simple strategic planning for you and your business. That's a title, a long ass title. You can either learn to live with your kryptonite or you can conquer it. Do what others don't and you will have a distinct strategic advantage. Identify your weakness and build a team that makes you indestructible. Batman had Robin, so even superheroes can defeat a sidekick who helps them turn their greatest weakness into their greatest strength. Nothing will make you feel like you can conquer the world more than conquering yourself. The first and best victory, as Plato taught Aristotle, is to conquer thyself. By facing your internal weaknesses, head on, you recognize that everything in life is malleable. Bruce Willis, he struggled with stuttering. He says, I could hardly talk. It took me 3 minutes to complete a sentence. It was crushing for anyone who wanted to express themselves, who wanted to be heard and couldn't. It was frightening, Willis recalls. Yet, when I became another character in the play, I lost the stutter. It was phenomenal. And he even went into a speech therapist, and that movie ended up making $3.2 billion in a lifetime box office gross. Controlling your own destiny often means walking away from habits that make you comfortable. Adaptability is the core skill to becoming future-proof. It is a Darwinian truth of business that it is not the most intellectual or the strongest that survives, but the person that survives is the one that is able to adapt or to adjust best to the changing environment in which it finds itself. So to kind of add on this experiment this Arthur is doing about Vin is that his superpower was that he can adapt to any changing business condition. And this kind of helped his business because after he had done his business to create it more global, he decided that he wanted to add more streams of income into his business, which was advertising, and he went into affiliate marketing. And affiliate sales ended up helping him achieve $96,978 in sales. And this has put him ahead of their goal that they're trying to reach, like a couple steps ahead of how much they need to make a month. So in order to reach 12 million, he needed to make 82,364 per month. No. That amount now makes it closer to reach the goal. He now only needs to make 82,364 per month to be a millionaire. But after all this, he found Vin's superpower, and this has helped him, become a better business person. But this chapter is talking about finding your unique superpower. You really have to figure out who you are as a person and look deeper into yourself. And part of that is to really write down everything you have gone through that has affected you, either positively or negatively, and what holds you back, or what do you think it can hold you back? What's your problem? Is it stuttering? Is it listening? Is it remembering? Is it that people call you weird? Is it that you're so happy in the morning and people can't really identify why? That's just examples of me, and just in case you were wondering, what is it that you find either a negative thing about you, and how can you turn that into something that can benefit you? A lot of this is becoming that entrepreneur who could hit the $1 million mark, is being able to change your mindset into a growth mindset. It's being able to not identify your weaknesses as weaknesses, but to identify your weaknesses as something you could turn into a strength. That's why it's a very popular question when interviewers ask you, what is your greatest weakness, right? Because they want to see that you have a growth mindset. So to be an entrepreneur, you have to have the growth mindset. You have to be able to identify what you are good at and what you're not good at. And something you're really good at could be your biggest fortune that you come across. What if that one thing you're good at, that one thing that you could spend your entire day doing without any distractions, like that could be your breakthrough moment. But in order to figure out how to become that millionaire, you need to figure out who you are, what you love, and what you're passionate for. And if you can't figure that thing out, if you're not taking that time to figure that thing out, then you probably don't have what it takes to be that millionaire. Honestly, that's just the truth. You have to spend the time to figure out what you are worth, because you as an individual are you're worth much more than what you believe you are and what others see you as. To another person, you might be worthless, but if you look to the person behind you, they're their biggest role model. So don't care, don't let it matter what other people think about you. Let it matter what people positively think about you. If there's a positive thing this person loves about you, then maybe you look at that positive note that they love about you and increase that. Use that to your benefit. If there's something that somebody negatively tells you, try to see the positive things to it and turn that into a superpower. If not, throw it in the trash and don't care what people say about you. Your mindset is your strongest, it has to be your strongest tool into becoming an entrepreneur. But that's enough time that I'm going to take from you. The next chapter is chapter 6, and it's turning perseverance into passion. And that's it. Thank you for watching this book club. We're halfway through. I mean, chapter 6, there's 12 truths in this book, and chapter 6 is the 6th truth, which means we're halfway there. And we're halfway, we're just closer to our goal into becoming that millionaire we want to be. And again, don't forget about that challenge that we're doing about writing your problems for 7 days straight. It's almost 7 days. And then finding your TAM, which is your global your reach, and then figuring out your passion and figuring out the source. And that's it. So like, subscribe, join this book club, buy your own book. There's always a link down in the description below to buy your book. It goes straight into Amazon. That's where I get my books. It's a little bit cheaper, and I get the shipping's faster. But that's about it. Thank you, and that's it.